Good day, everyone. We are the group 9 and we assigned to record our topic, and our topic is all about types of web browsers, the experience of web, multimedia, real-time communication, how to use web browser, how to browse website and files, netiquette, and lastly, internet terms and definition. So first, let me define web browser. Web browser is a common term which is frequently used by people while discussing the internet. However, the exact definition of a web browser is known by few only. Web browser definition: a software application used to access information on the World Wide Web is called a web browser. When a user requests some information, the web browser fetches the data from a web server and then displays the web page on the user's screen. So these are the types of web browser. The functions of all web browsers are the same. Those more than the different types, there are different web browsers which have been used over the years. Discussed below are different web browsers, examples and their specific features. First, the World Wide Web. The first web browser ever, launched in 1990, it was later named Nexus to avoid any confusion with the World Wide Web. Had the very basic features and less interactive in terms of graphical interface. Did not have the feature of bookmark. Second, Mosaic. It was launched in 1993. The second web browser which was launched the second web browser which was launched had a better graphical interface. Images, text, and graphics could all be integrated. It was developed at the National Center for Supercomputing Applications. The team which was responsible for creating Mosaic was led by Mark Andreessen. It was named the world's first popular browser. Third, Netscape Navigator. It was released in 1994. In the 1990s, it was the dominant browser in terms of usage. In the 1990s, it was the dominant browser in terms of usage share. More versions of this browser were launched by Netscape. It had an advanced licensing scheme and allowed free usage for non-commercial purposes. Fourth, Internet Explorer. It was launched in 1995 by Microsoft. By 2003, it had attained almost 95% of usage share and had become the most popular browsers of all. Close to 10 versions of Internet Explorer were released by Microsoft and were updated gradually. It was included in the Microsoft Windows operating system. In 2015, it was replaced with Microsoft Edge as it became the default browser on Windows 10. Fifth, Firefox. So we are all familiar with this one. It was introduced in 2002 and was developed by Mozilla Foundation. Firefox overtook the usage share from Internet Explorer and became the dominant browser during 2003 to 2004. Location-aware browsing was made available with Firefox. This browser was also made available for mobile phones, tablets, and etc. So lastly, the Google Chrome. So this was very familiar and so it was launched in 2008 by Google. It is a cross-platform platform web browser. Multiple features from old browser were amalgamated to form better and newer features. To save computers from malware, Google developed the ad blocking feature to keep the user data safe and secure. Incognito mode is provided where private searching is available where no cookies or history is saved. Till date, it has the best user interface. So, familiar ra tanan sa kanang types of browser kay kanang nagamit naman siguro nato tanan or naka-familiar naman siguro tanan sa mga web browser kay mao man na mismo atong ginagamit. Karon is the famous one is the Google Chrome. Pero sa una, ang ginagamit pa is Firefox. What is Web Experience Management? Web Experience Management is a process of managing all-around experience of the web user across various touch points in the journey through an organization web presence. With the evolution of the internet and presence of organization across various platforms online, web experience is not limited only to the website of the organization, but also the presence across multiple channels such as social networking and professional networking sites and multiple platforms such as mobile devices, etc. Web Experience Management is responsible for managing the overall experience across channels and across platforms. What is multimedia on a computer? Multimedia refers to the computer-assisted integration of text, drawings, still, and moving images, videos, graphics, audio, animation, and any other media in which any type of information can be expressed, stored, communicated, and processed digitally. Real-time communication explained. In today's instant economy, real-time communication is more critical than ever. This technology has single-handedly transformed our world into a global society. We can now communicate and exchange information rapidly over great distances like never before. We can do it as if the other person is in the same room as us. In this article, we'll take a look at real-time communication and why it's a vital part of our day-to-day life. We'll then discuss how subsets of this technology are changing the technology landscapes of the future. What is real-time communication? Real-time communication is any online communication that happens in the real time. Data is sent directly and instantly from the sender to the receiver and is not stored en route to the destination. The telephone is just one classic example of the real-time communication. This is contrast to a time-shifting communication, where we send data and typically wait a period for it to be received, as well as another period before we get a reply. Snail mail and email are perfect examples of this type of communication. Real-time communications typically connect users peer-to-peer without any noticeable delays. Either party can respond to each other through two methods. One method is the half duplex, where users can only send or receive at any given time, but not both. The other is full duplex, which enables simultaneous sending and receiving. Real-time communication examples. There are plenty of examples of real-time communication in modern society. The most obvious example is when we call and talk with each other through mobile phones. It also includes voice over IP, VoIP, applications that route calls through the internet instead of a telephone network such as Skype. Real-time messaging definition also classify real-time messaging applications like Viber and WhatsApp as real-time communication. Whenever we send a message through these apps, It is sent directly to the recipient. We can freely reply with each other in real time. Beyond talking with each other, real-time communication can also be used to exchange data files. It's often done through peer-to-peer networks like BitTorrent. Other notable application of real-time communication include screen sharing, social media, and live video streaming platforms. How to use web browser. Step 1. Launch your web browser. Step 2. In address bar or location, type the search engine you want to use and press enter. Step 3. Type the content you want to search in the search text box and press enter. Step 4. Lastly, it displays a list of web pages from which you can select the content web page you want. How to browse website and files. To start browsing the web, when you start up web, your cursor should be in the next entry field at the top of the window. Type in the URL of the web page that you want to visit or your search term. Secondly, and the last step, press return to go to the web page or to search. What is netiquette? Netiquette is a made-up word from the words net and etiquette. Netiquette those describe the rules of conduct for respectful and appropriate communication on the internet. Netiquette is often referred to as etiquette for the internet. These are not legally binding rules, but recommended rules of etiquette. Netiquette is mostly used for dealing with unknown people on the internet. The rules of the netiquette vary depending on the platform and its participants. Generally, it is up to the operator of a website or communication app to specify the type and scope of the netiquette. It is also their responsibility to monitor compliance with these basic rules and to penalize violations of them. Netiquette general rules of conduct. When communicating on the internet, you should always remember that you are communicating with people and not simply with computers or smartphones. As in the real world, rules of etiquette are necessary on the internet. Netiquette is therefore important to avoid adverse consequences. And that's all for today. Thank you.